We were told the story of India's independence through the lens of men. We were told that Gandhi did everything for India, which is not true. Gandhi was harsh, controlling, and he didn't believe and support gender equality. Let's remember someone who truly did everything for India's independence. Kamaladevi Chattopadhyay. Good morning, India! I'm Papa, here is Aramish, Jojo is recording. Let's go! Kamaladevi was born in Karnataka in India 1903. She was the fourth and youngest daughter of her parents. Both parents were educated. She learned ancient Indian epics and Puranas from her grandmother. Her grandmother was very educated as well. She loved her. She loved Kamaladevi. Kamaladevi loved learning about ancient Sanskrit drama. Also, she was enjoying sitting with her parents and their friends who were prominent freedom fighters such as Ranade and Gokhale. She learned a lot from them. Imagine she was learning a lot of great things that girls were never allowed to read. When she was 7, her father passed away, and 7 years later, she had to marry with someone. Even though her mother was very progressive, I don't know why she had to get married at the age of 14. It's a little bit interesting for me to know why, but I couldn't find any information at any resource. It's very interesting. 1 year after her marriage, her husband passed away. So now she is a widow. And in India, if you are a widow, especially that time, you never can remarry and you never can go out, study or anything. You should just stay at home and follow your in-laws' rules and everything. Since her mother was very progressive and luckily her father-in-law was very educated and progressive, she could study again. And she went to university at the age of 21. At this time, she met her fellow intellectual and theatre actor Harindranath Chattopadhyay. They were India's liberal couple publicly performing plays, discussing socialism and dreaming of revolution. That time in India, acting for women and girls was like a taboo. Kamaladevi is a taboo breaker. So she started to study in theatre and cinema. Relatives, neighbors, acquaintances start to talk to her mother. No, she shouldn't do that. It's so wrong. Nice women should stay at home and look after the family. Or maybe she is not a nice woman and everything. I heard of some of my Indian friends still acting in cinema and theater is not very good thing for women and it's a little bit dodgy. They judge them and they label them as not nice women. Even though Harindranath is very intelligent and charismatic, he's arrogant, controlling, and he's a serial cheater. Kamaladevi would later reveal how his infidelities and neglect became a sorrow in her life. Even though he was cheating, he was not nice to her, and she didn't have a good life. Not even a heartbreak could stop her fire. So she started to study in London sociology, and after that she started to organizing a lot of women campaign for Indian women's liberation. She was very beautiful and she had a very nice voice. She got lots of offers acting in movies and theater plays, but she didn't accept all of them. She was reading the plays, she was reading the scripts. She accepted those scripts and scenarios that was about the women's rights. And she chose those women's characters that they were strong. In 1923, when she was studying in London, she came to know of Mahatma Gandhi's non-cooperation movement. She promptly returned to India and joined Savadel movement. But soon, she became one of those critics against Gandhi. Let's learn about the real Gandhi. When I'm saying about real Gandhi, because myself, for example, when I was a kid and a teenager, I was told that Gandhi was one of the best leaders in the world. He did a lot for India's independence, and even in our books, in schools, Gandhi was one of the biggest leaders. But later, when I was studying India's history, I found that no, it's not true. There are a lot of things behind the curtains. So let's learn about the real Gandhi. Gandhi, contrary to the myths built around him, was neither a saint nor a symbol of peace. He was a violent, controlling, and deeply misogynistic man, like Khomeini in Iran. He didn't believe women should be equal to men, and he didn't want them to participate in politics, society, or even the freedom struggle. He wanted women to stay at home, raise children, and cook. He was controlling his wife and dictating what to eat, what to wear, and even how she should think. In his later years, Gandhi did something horrible. If I tell you what he did, you're gonna go blown away. He started to carry out a very disturbing sexual experiment with young girls and teenagers. He was sleeping with them completely naked because he wanted to test his self-control over lust. Is that really the behavior of a spiritual leader? Or it's a true face of Gandhi? The great charismatic leader who was always worshipped by Indian and some other people around the world. Just imagine the true face of Gandhi. Kamaladevi was dealing with this guy. They meet each other in person. Kamaladevi was talking to him. He was refusing her ideas, even though Gandhi confessed that Kamaladevi is a very intelligent woman. But he was always against Kamaladevi's ideas because he wanted to say that, no, women can't think. Your ideas is coming from your husband. Your ideas coming from other people. A woman can't think properly. And that was very harsh. Imagine Kamaladevi gave so many ideas that later Gandhi applied in the movement, but never said that these ideas came from Kamaladevi. A country can't be free unless its women are free. Kamaladevi was always saying this in different meetings, in her manifest, in her speeches, everywhere. Let's get back to the story. So Kamaladevi came back to India and directly go to visit Gandhi. They start to sitting together for hours and hours. They are talking, arguing. Kamaladevi said that women should take a part in this movement. Gandhi says no. How come no women should stay at home, cook, look after their husbands and their children? They can't go to the movement. It's violent for them. Sometimes he was saying that it's violent, but sometimes he confessed that women are not smart in movement and they should stay at home. Finally, Kamaladevi convinced Gandhi that women should take a part of the movement. And Gandhi put Kamaladevi as the manager of women's section in the Dal movement. Kamaladevi did a great job. She did her best. She started to invite girls, women at any age to join to this movement. She started to recruit them, hiring them, register their names, and started to talk to them that which one is more powerful, who has what talent, and she did a great job. In 1926, she met the suffragette Margaret E. Cousins, the founder of All India Women's Conference, AIWC, who inspired her to run for the Madras Provincial Legislative Assembly. Thus, she became the first woman to run for a legislative seat in India. Though she could campaign for only a few days, she lost by a small margin of 55 votes. In the following year, she became a founding member of All India Women's Conference. She was its first organizing secretary. During her tenure, she traveled to so many European nations, and she was inspired by ladies in Europe that they are very strong and they already organized so many communities for reform the society, under the rules of women's rights. Words are changing. She came back to India and started to do all of this alteration in India. Now we are in 1930s. Indians never forget this date because it's a huge point. It's a turning point in the history of India. Salt March or Salt Satyagraha. This movement is a big movement in India. Salt March is a symbol of, revival of India. It's a symbol of India's independence. That time, England was collecting salt from India's beaches and selling back to Indians with tax on it. It's so silly and it is so cruel. So in this movement that was directed by Gandhi, it started from one city and went to the other cities. So Gandhi and other people joined to this walking strike, and they were walking very, very peacefully, and they were saying that we want independent products for our country, India. Even though this disobedient movement was led by Gandhi, but the key figure was Kamaladevi Chattopadhyay. No one knows about this. Kamaladevi again convinced Gandhi that women should attend. If women didn't attend to this movement, that wouldn't be a big movement in the history of India. Family were working together, and they were very, very non-violent. They were silent and working, and this civil disobedience became the big bomb in the newspapers around the world. Over 16,000 people were arrested. England were not sure that they should arrest women and children as well or not. They were in dilemma, they were torn that they should do it or not. But finally they did it. And one of these women were Kamaladevi as the leader of this movement. And they took Kamaladevi to the court multiple times, more than Gandhi, because they knew that who is the key figure in this movement. But finally, when India became independent, everyone is talking about the Salt March under the leadership of Gandhi, not Kamaladevi. When World War II broke out, Kamaladevi was thinking that it's the good idea that I go and travel around the world in Europe and in the United States and talk about India's situation, because India's situation was not really good and they were keep arresting people, bothering them. She took this journey and she went to Europe and talked about India's situation and the colonial India. And finally, her last journey was in the country of United States, in the state of Louisiana. When she was in a segregated train, one of these conductors came to Kamaladevi and said that, why you are sitting in this wagon? It is for white people. And quickly this conductor just confusingly said to Kamaladevi that, sorry, where are you from? Because he was not sure that Kamaladevi is Black American or where is she from? You know, that time in America, Black people couldn't sit in the wagon of white people, and that was segregated. Does it matter where am I from? You can't disturb me. I have no intention to get up and leave this wagon. And she emphasized that, yeah, obviously I'm a colored woman. I'm not Black, but I'm a colored woman. And the conductor was very embarrassed in front of other people and very, silently left the wagon. And later Kamaladevi said this story to the other people. In the 1920s, long before Rosa Parks made history in the American civil rights movement, Kamaladevi Chattopadhyay defied racial segregation in the United States. Finally, India became independent on August 15, 1947. Imagine, after nearly 200 years. In the post-independence, Kamaladevi did a lot for India. While Jawaharlal Nehru was ignoring so many refugees, Kamaladevi plunged into rehabilitation of these refugees. She set up Indian Cooperative Union. Nehru very reluctantly finally let her to settle over 50,000 refugees from the northwest frontier in Faridabad. Kamaladevi established new homes for them. She sent some skillful people to find out each of their professional talents to find a job. And for those without special talents, she sent many teachers to teach them. And last but not least, she set up health facilities for so many women and children. She felt responsible for the great revival of Indian handicrafts and handloom works. She became concerned at the possibility that the introduction of Western methods of factory-based machinery, mass production in India as part of Nehru's vision for India's development would affect traditional artisans, especially women in the unorganized sectors. She set up a series of crafts museums to hold and archive Indian indigenous arts and crafts that served as a storehouse for indigenous know-how. This included the Theatre Crafts Museum in Delhi. She equally promoted arts and crafts, instituted the national awards for master craftsmen and craftswomen. She made many drama schools and managed them while she was an active member of UNESCO. Why isn't Kamaladevi on your currency? Why don't schools teach about her? Because she was not a man? Because she was not submissive? She questioned the great leader in that time in India. She became a mirror, and the patriarchy hate mirrors. India should be known for her, not for Gandhi. Thank you very much for watching this video. I think with your subscribe, like and share, you can give me energy to tell about more hidden women, which we really need to know about hidden women in the world. We really need to know about the truth in the history. Love you. Namaste and bye. عزیزم نکن مامان دارم ریکوردینگ میکنم پسرم. Finally, India became independent on August 15, 1947. آرامش نکن.